All right, thank you for confirming that you can hear me. So like I said, not many people are going to stay through to the end of the journey because there's a price to be paid. There is some requirements for anything in life that you want to do. And if you decide that you want to be a freelancer, there are going to be some price that you have to pay. And that's why, thank you so much for confirming that you can hear me. And that's why when we started, the number is increased. Only yesterday when I couldn't make it here on time, I wasn't feeling too well. And I decided we're going to have yesterday's class today, but you can see that not many people are still able to leave. Maybe some people didn't know. Some people probably would have marked their calendar to attend class for Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. That's totally fine. So hopefully tomorrow we'll continue with the regular show. So I'm going to start by saying, well, like I said earlier, because I forgot to record, what we're going to be doing here today is basically something that you already know for everyone who wants to start to do something or want to start a journey. But sometimes you just require or you just need to have a reminder of some of the things that you know you need to do or you need to be, or the state of mind you need to be in to stay focused and to stay commitment on the journey, basically. So I will start with the famous biblical saying that says, as a man thinketh, so he is. That is a very simple, famous, but very powerful statement that I think that every individual, every human being who's conscious of this fact would be able to recognize the potentials that they have as a human being, and they would be able to follow through irrespective of the challenges or the predicaments that they encounter on their way. So it is important to know that you have to think a certain way. You have to have a certain mindset. There is certain, tenacity or strength or mental state that you need to have if you want to go into freelancing. It's similar. It's just about the same thing like if you want to be an entrepreneur, right? So most people who are entrepreneurs who have decided that they want to do their business and they want to do their own thing, they recognize that there are going to be rainy days, there are going to be stormy days, there are going to be days when you are smiling, and there are going to be days when you're crying, because there are going to be so many things, yes, that would happen in the course of your journey. So he who thinks he can and he who thinks he cannot are all right. They are both right, right? So if you think you can, you are right. And if you think you cannot, you are right as well. It just depends on what side of the divide that you are on. So it comes down to, even in freelancing, do you think that freelancing is for you? Do you think you can? Do you think that you would be able to do all the multitasking and all the things that is required to offer your services as a freelancer, to be the one who's responsible for the marketing, to be the one who's responsible for the invoicing, to be the one who's responsible for implementing the task, to be the one who's responsible for all the nitty-gritty that comes with your business? As much as all that seems like this overwhelming, but it can be interesting at the end of the day. So my question to you, as we're trying to farm or to get to the state where we're settled that this is the mindset that we need to have, is one more time, do you think freelancing is for you? Do you think you have the independent mindset enough? Do you think you have the tenacity enough? Do you think you're going to be persistent enough to stay through to both the rainy and the dry days? So it boils down to your mind at the end of the day, your mindset at the end of the day. What sort of person you are? How strong are you? Do you think you have all that it takes? In the previous class, we've asked that question before, but now that we're talking about mindset, we're still going to be talking about that. So what is a freelancer mindset? Now, to me, my own understanding of a freelancer mindset, and from the many years that I have been a freelancer, over a decade now, and the many freelancers that I've met in the course of my journey, and how I see their character and how they build themselves up and how they go about their business, and the sort of conversation that we've consistently have in common forums, I have come to a conclusion that a freelancer mindset is basically to be free. It's basically about being free. It's basically about being independent, but being independently creative, because if you work as an employer, somebody else is thinking like the accountant. Somebody else is thinking like the administrator. Somebody else is thinking like the operations. Somebody else is thinking as the CEO, right? But if you choose to be a freelancer, you are in a position where you are thinking like all of them combined. So it means that as a freelancer, you're thinking like an accountant, you're thinking like the CEO, you're thinking like the operations, you're thinking like the front office, you're thinking like pretty much everything, even welfare, right? Because we talked about the fact that you need to have a work-life balance, and that's one of the opportunities or the advantages that freelancing gives you. So a freelancer mindset that means that you are free, but you must be independently creative, you must be confident, and you must have the abilities that self-motivate. So nobody's going to come and push you to do the job. Like we're trying to push people to come for this training or to come for this meeting right now. Nobody's going to push you. It means that if you don't work, you don't get paid, right? So have it at the back of your mind that as much as freelancing means that you're free, you're independent, but it requires so much from you. So freelancers, especially the prospective ones like you, must embrace the mindset. You must embrace that freelancer mindset that requires that you think for every department of your business. I just explained to you in the most practical way that I can, that as a freelancer, you must think like all of these departments or this. In fact, when you are doing the business as a freelancer, you must have that at the back of your mind that yes, you are alone, but the mindset should be that there are different departments in your business that is on your desk. So the mindset of a freelancer means that he must recognize all of these departments and accept the fact that he only plays those roles. And you must play those roles in the most effective, timely, and productive manner. So do not think that because you do not have an accounting background, you're not going to invoice right. Do not think that because you're not the operations manager, you're not going to deliver the job as effectively and as timely as you're supposed to do it. Do not think that because you are not the front office or customer service, you're not going to communicate or interact with your customers in the most effective and professional way possible. So that's the reason why having training skills or building yourselves up in all of these segments is very key as a freelancer, okay? So you must embrace the freelancer mindset, and everything from how you approach your new freelancing skill, how you like to work independently, and how you manage your time must be factored. So as much as you're going to be doing all these things, you must manage your time effectively. You must factor in how you juggle into all of these things. And that's the reason what we're doing in this community for freelancers after this training is to teach you some of the basic things. We'll teach you the basic invoicing skill, the basic marketing skill, maybe a bit of a time management skill that we expect you already know. In fact, there are going to be some other courses like the virtual assistant program where you can learn how to be a customer service person, how you can schedule meetings with your clients, how you can do those basic office employable things or office employability skills that you need to have to use them to the advantage of a freelancing journey, so to speak. So have it at the back of your mind that all of these things will be required of you. Now, one of the things that is also crucial and central as a freelancer, especially when you're starting out, is that we understand that when you say you're a freelancer or an entrepreneur, it means that there's some level of security, but there is also some level of insecurity. Security in the sense that nobody's going to wake you up tomorrow and say you're fired, right? It means that you're in control, you're your own boss. But there is some level of insecurity as well, because if you don't do the work of marketing, if you don't do the work of trying to get clients, if you don't do the work of delivering on time or delivering the services and the quality that the clients require, the tendency for you to get repeat clients is slim. And if you do not get these jobs, you don't get paid. So there's that level of insecurity in it. But it is your responsibility to ensure that you find security in the midst of this insecurity. And how are you going to do that? The only way you're going to do that is to ensure that you are living up to the expectation of your clients. So ensure that you're delivering on time, you're delivering quality service, your customer service is top-notch. You're doing all the things that is expected. So amidst the insecurity of not being sure where the next job will come from, you have to acquire the skills that enables you to find the security. So you have to get the skills that enables you to do the marketing, to ensure that the clients keep coming, and to make sure you also deliver high quality service so that, you can consistently be sure about clientele. So you must find the security and the insecurity and challenge yourself to get both the financial independence, okay, and every other benefits that comes with being a freelancer that your colleagues will only dream about having. So we talked about the fact that if you're a freelancer, it means that you have your time, you control your time, right? Because you do the job at your time, and all that. So, but you must do all these things effectively so that you can have the money security, and you can also have the time security or the work-life balance that we talked about. So that by the time you are able to manage all of this effectively, your colleagues or your mates or your neighbors or whoever is in touch with you or sees you would be amazed as to how you manage your life in such an effective way, so much that you have the financial security and then you also have the work-life balance. So these are some of the things that are required. And you have to have all of this figured out in your head, in your mindset, to make sure that you're able to manage all of this consistently. One of the other things that you must do as a freelancer is to thrive or strive to be good. So you want to make sure that you consistently find ways that will help you improve on the things that you say you do. So if you are going to be a graphic designer and you're going to be offering these skills to your client, it's expected that you consistently strive to be good. Learn the current softwares, learn the future softwares, learn the tools and the things that makes you deliver a better service than what you did yesterday. And if it's possible, even deliver better than what your competitors do deliver. Because it is only then that you're going to have the repeat clients, and it's only then that you're going to enjoy the benefits or the profits that comes with being a freelancer. So you must strive to improve on your skill, to improve on your service on a daily or however often you think you want to have a timeline to do that. So consistently learn to advance your tools. So whatever tools you use, whatever equipment you use, and this is not only relative to those guys who are doing digital skills or digital services, right? If you used to have a certain machine that offers a particular service before and the machine is getting outdated, find a better machine that does it better. If you used to use CorelDRAW to offer to design graphics for your clients, and you know now that Photoshop is better, get Photoshop and master Photoshop so you can deliver better quality, better picture, better lighting, to your client. So in whatever field that you are in. So if, for example, you decide that you want to be maybe a digital marketing person, you want to consistently learn new skills around digital marketing, for example, so that you can consistently offer better volume, better service, improved service to your client. So whichever one you chose, like I said, whether they are digital skills or they are offline skills or they are manual skills that you deliver, make sure you consistently improve on the tools, improve on the skills to make sure that the service you deliver today is better than the one you delivered yesterday. Now, above all, one thing that you must have at the back of your mind, which is key for every freelancer, is that you must be the solution. So whatever you do, you must offer clients only solution. The only thing they want to hear is when they come to you with the problems, they must know that before they leave you, the problems are going to be solved, okay? So hence, as a freelancer, you must have that solution mindset. You must know that as you're interacting with your client, you would not give them anything short of the solution to the problem that they come to you for. So strive as much as possible to ensure that the only thing you think about when your clients come to you is solution, and solution only. Now, one of the things that is inevitable, and this is people who know me over the years know that I preach and I talk so much, a lot about failing forward. The reality of the matter is anyone on the surface of the earth who has been successful has failed many more times than they have even succeeded. Okay? There's a popular orator who says that, they call Seth Godin. He says, the person who fails the most will win. So the person who has been known for failing and failing and failing is the one who's going to be known for winning. So if you're an entrepreneur, you're a freelancer, and you're afraid to fail, then you're not ready to start. So I think it's fair to say that the most successful people have failed more than many of us who have consistently closed our mind to trying something new. Now, one of the things that I noticed over the years is I meet a lot of people, and because I interact with young people a lot, one of the common things they tell me when I ask them, why have you not started? Why have you not done this? Why have you not gone here? The most common thing I hear them say to me is that I'm afraid to fail. So I have seen more people afraid to fail more than I've seen more people willing to try. And that's the reason why the number of people who are more successful are, of course, they would be fewer, because they are the ones who are willing to take the pain. They are the ones who are willing to be called names. Personally, if you want to talk about me, the number of things I've failed at are uncountable. But one thing is for sure, anyone who comes in contact with me knows that this person has some level of tenacity, some level of consistency. She's very progressive in her mindset, and she'll keep doing it, except I'm not convinced that it's the right thing. But if I'm convinced that it's the right thing, I keep doing it until I find the right way of doing it and until it works. Even this particular training that we're doing right now, the way we're doing it might not be the best way to do it. Yes, we're using Zoom. Yes, we're communicating in a certain way, but as we keep doing it, that's the only way you're going to tell what works and what does not. So when you find out what works, you do more of what works. When you find out what does not work, you stop doing it. Like, for example, when we started this training, the first batch was a lot different. The first batch we had was 30 days. But we figured, no, it was a little too much. We can reduce it, excuse me, we can reduce it for less number of days, and we can focus more on certain areas. And we can now do some of the vocational skill or digital skill, sorry, I'm hiccuping, or digital skill. And that's exactly what we're doing. And as we finish this batch, we will get better again, right? Excuse me. Sorry, I have to drink water. And as we finish this batch, we're going to get better. We're going to find better ways of doing it. After a while, in fact, the projection is after a while, we might not necessarily be having live classes every week. I mean, the number of times every week, we might decide to have live classes once a week. Pre-recorded versions of what we're sure would be solutions will be provided. And even that, because I mean, some of the digital courses that I have also participated in, you'll find that what we consumed last year, because we have access to the digital content for a period of time, when we go back to make reference to the content that we had learned last year, we find that a few things have changed. The reason is because the resource persons found that some of the things that they probably had dished out previously 2 years ago is no longer what is now. And that's what life is. The only constant thing is change. So every day, things will keep changing, and it will be the same in your profession as well. It will be the same in your fashion. It will be the same in your digital skills. It will be the same in your consultancy. Whatever it is you do, it is impossible for what people consumed 5 years ago to still be the things that people will consume now. So do not be afraid to fail. Do not be afraid to start. Some of your customers will complain. They will say what you're giving them is not what they want, or it can be better, and all that. But how would you know all that if you do not start? You cannot be lying on your bed and making an assumption of a certain service that you want to offer, and you have not started offering it and know about the one that will be a better or improved version. You can never know that until you start. So if you do not start and you're afraid, or you're looking at the challenges or some of the limitations or the many things that you do not have, because some people will say, oh, I don't have this. Somebody wants to become a digital marketer and say, I do not have a laptop, but he's not willing to start with what they have. So one thing that is important, or one of the things that I've preached over the years, I mean, for a long time, I keep telling people, because for me, since I started setting up businesses, since I started, from the very first time I got the vision to set up Push Africa, I didn't know where the money came from to register the organization. I didn't know where most of the resources came from to get started or to even get anything done. And that is the mindset of an entrepreneur. If you want to wait until you have all the resources, some people, I ask them, why have you not started? They'll tell me, I don't have capital. And I'm like, there are tons of businesses, there are thousands of businesses that, especially in our today's age, where information is readily available at our pick and call. There is about so many things, thousands of things you can do without any resources. And if there's anything I've been preaching and trying to promote in this community, is to get young people to start from where they are with what they have. Even with as little as just their mobile phone and the access to internet, they can start from there. So my conclusion on this particular margin is the fact that, like all venture, like I keep saying, like all jobs, all venture, all work, whatever it is you decide you want to do, whether it is freelancing, being an entrepreneur, being an employee, there is always a price to pay. Hard work is required, persistence is required, tenacity is required, even the skills development and the expertise, it is required. So it is not different for freelancing as well. If you decide that you don't want to freelance, you don't want to be an entrepreneur, you're going to be required to wake up every morning, my friend, to go to work. That too is pain. That too is hard work, right? So whichever one you choose, there will always be a pain or there will always be a hard work in the equation. So it's up to you at the end of the day to decide which of the pain you want to choose. So you must be determined to win, and putting in the work and staying consistent is the only way towards winning. So I want to urge you all, and I hope that you actually consider taking some time to really think about this mindset. Let me take my own take this one. Okay, that you consider reviewing. Sorry, somebody's distracted. I'm trying to mute everyone so I can. So I urge you to consider never giving in, okay? The never giving in mindset, no matter what happens on this journey. So if you've decided that freelancing is the thing for you, there will be challenges, there will be predicaments, you will not have the resources you require at some point, you may not have the tools, you may not have all the things together in one place. But the only way to be able to get to the place where you can have almost about everything you need is to start and to keep going and to keep doing what you can until you can actually do exactly what it is you want. So this is the end of my presentation. There's going to be a question or a quiz at the end of these, and then you're going to be required to just make some attempts, basically just tell us what you think, how you're going to be able to activate the freelancer mindset. What would you do? What is your strength currently, and what would you do with the information that has been presented to you? If you have any questions, you can ask me. But other than that, I urge you all to please try the quiz, make some attempt, because it's only when you do that that you will find out what is peculiar to you and how whatever it is we're learning here, whatever we're learning here will be applicable to your individual and personal freelancing goal. So this is the end of my presentation. Okay, somebody said that someone complained about the code not working. I see that some people are just oh my God, sorry, I've been talking. I think my mic has been muted. Please tell me the last thing you heard. I didn't realize that my mic, I've been talking and talking. Tell me the last place where you had me stop. I didn't realize my mic has been muted for a while. When someone interrupted, I didn't realize that the mic was muted. I'm so sorry. So I think that we got to the place where I was talking about my final recommendation or my final advice. I was saying that like all jobs, and all ventures, hard work, persistence, tenacity is required, and freelancing is no different, right? So I want to urge you all to put in the work and not having the never giving or the never say never kind of mindset, because no matter what happens, if you stay consistent, you will win. There will always be challenges. You will always face challenges. You will always not have the resources you need. You will always not have the tools and the gadgets you need. There will always be something that is not available, just like everything else. Even in Nigeria, there is always something that is not available. For the president, he's a president now, and he's trying to lead the country. There are certain things that he still says are not available to his disposal. So no matter what level of leadership, of business, or whatever it is you want to do, there will definitely be something missing or something lacking. What is important is to focus on what you have, use the tools you have. And like I keep saying, my slogan for what it is we're doing right now is to encourage people to start from where they are with what they have. And as you continue to make progress, all the things that you need or the things that you want to be able to offer the service that you offer, you will definitely amass, on the long run. So this is the end of my presentation today. Sorry, at some point, I noticed that I was muted on mistakenly. I was just talking to myself and I didn't realize that you were not hearing me. But if you have any questions, you can go ahead and ask. If you have any contributions you want to add, you can go ahead. Sorry, someone complained that the phone is not working. Okay, maybe it's I think it's their device. Okay, so if you have any questions, go ahead and ask. If you have any contributions, please go ahead and make them. If not, we should call it a day. If you have a question, indicate by a show of hand.
Yeah.
Okay, Mr. Femi, you want to say something? Go ahead.
Yeah, I want to ask a question. So today I got a gig today, and the person, I guess, is a test to see my knowledge about being a freelancer. The person sent me a 50-page document, and he told me to convert it to my language.
Okay, what is it? A data entry job?
Yeah, it's a data entry job. He sent me a 50-page file. He told me to convert it to my local language.
Oh, okay.
And he's giving me to finish it less than 24 hours. So I have gone to download Google Translator. So I'm trying to convert the file from PDF to Word so I can translate it to my local language, then convert it back to PDF and submit it. I guess that's the best way I can go about it.
Are you the data entry class?
No, I'm in the virtual assistant class, but I can do data entry.
No, there is no virtual assistant class currently running. There is a data entry class currently running. And this question you're asking me is a question for the data entry class, not for me.
Not for, oh, okay, I'm sorry for asking.
Yeah. So you need to join the data entry class to get the skill that you're asking for, because they are teaching all of this in the data entry class. I am also joining that class because I need the skill as well. So chat me up on WhatsApp. I will tell you what you need to do to join that class.
No problem. Thank you very much, man.
All right, dear. You're welcome. Who else is there? Anyone else have a question? Anyone else has something they want to contribute? If not, we will call it an evening and we'll meet again tomorrow. So our regular schedule will begin again tomorrow, Monday, Wednesday, and Fridays. Okay, so good night, everyone. So see you tomorrow, same time, 8 p.m. Try to be early, okay? Have a good night, everyone. Yes, I did not want to.